Welcome back into the Enrichment Sports Source. Each week we are going to play a little advanced football here. Former Vol and former NFL defensive lineman Will Overstreet breaks down the game. He does so today, and he takes a look at Tennessee's run defense. Looking back toward last year, he points out some things that you saw yesterday too. We'll talk about it. Will Overstreet.
Thanks, John. One of the things we want to talk about today is something that I know burned a lot of us last year, and that was Tennessee's run defense. And there are a few things that really occurred that I'm going to point out about some of the teams and what they were trying to do. The first one we're going to talk about is Georgia. And one of the things they effectively really did a good job of last year is how to get their big running back against our DBs and get them off linebackers. And one of the things they did is basically overloaded this side with wide receivers, making it look like the run strength was to the left and the passing strength was to the right. And what they did here is they actually took this fullback and moved him over here to kick out this defensive end. Now, this defensive end at any point in time has a job of knowing he should stay outside or he has to come underneath and fill the gap there. Depending on the play is which one he should do. In this particular play at Georgia, he came underneath, and so therefore who should be the guy that basically takes up the slack and is the outside contain is the safety. But after a couple of long passes and getting burned, this wide receiver basically effectively didn't block anybody. He just ran a route, and instead of the safety reading run then pass, he immediately thought it was a deep ball and he went to cover the wide receiver, therefore giving Georgia's running back a chance to get about 10 yards deep running full head of steam before anybody was really reacting or anybody was there to even have a chance at making the tackle. The next situation that you saw last year was what happened at the very end of the half against Florida. And basically, this is when teams started seeing that Tennessee secondary was not adjusting to shifts in what the play call was. So basically, if I'm Florida, I line up in this set outside of the huddle, but I'm going to do some kind of motion, whether it's this individual or this tight end, and move them around and see how the secondary adjusts to that movement. What happened against Florida was they motioned their H-back, the quarterback turns around and hands it to him. His job is to get to the corner as fast as possible. The defensive end they leave unblocked because they figured this H-back is hitting that so hard he won't be able to have a chance to react. The problem occurred here. As soon as that motion occurred, what you saw is a lot of communication and talking going on between the secondary, but they were sitting still talking. What should have happened is they should have been shifting their movement over as they see this man go in motion. When they're not doing that, they basically get caught about halfway in between. So therefore, this gives plenty of running room to the H-back and a big chance to make a huge play. This year, Tennessee, with another new defense, has got to be really clear in their communication, understand their plays really, really well. And the coaches have got to keep it simple if they feel like their players don't understand, because you don't want to get beat because players are thinking and not reacting. So, John, hopefully this changes a little bit for Tennessee this year. Back to you.
All right, some of the same issues you saw yesterday. Guy goes in motion. Tennessee gets a little confused back there. Is Tennessee ready for Florida's run game? It's not the same kind of run game as Oregon's, but they ran for 336 last year against Tennessee. Tennessee gave up 216 yesterday. Probably could have been more, but Oregon decided the weakness is over the top. Let's go at them that way. Dan McCullers, this team said they're going to ride him. He's got to make the difference. I don't think he's been a difference maker this year. Is this defensive line ready? I'll start with you. Are they ready? Is this defense ready for Florida's run game?
Not after what we saw yesterday. There were mental busts. All the big plays from Oregon, there were a lot from talent and speed, but a lot of them came from just mental bust. Well, hopefully these guys are coachable, and that can be fixed. There's a deep pass play where the corner expected help over the top, didn't have it. I don't know. I don't remember what the play call was. So he either needed to stay with the guy or the safety. One of those two messed up. Fix that. All of a sudden, hey, there still might be a game, but it's not a touchdown. Defensive line wise, McCullers is going to be key. He's got to step up. He physically can do it. Nobody can block that guy. He's humongous.
Just give me a yay or nay. Are they ready for Florida's run game?
I'm going to give you in between. I think they'll be better prepared for this one than they were for Oregon's.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
because Florida has a power run game and not the speed run
Exactly.
game, and so Tennessee will be better equipped to deal with it, but they'll still be vulnerable.
We said back over the summer, I asked you the question, we had a little picture, which team is most likely to leave Tennessee looking like Sonny Corleone at the toll booth, riddled with bullets? Oregon was the answer, and I think everyone agreed. Depending on that injury situation, which could make things turn sour quick, I do believe Oregon is probably your ugliest game. That should be
Yes.
the nadir for the season, and I just wanted to say nadir. All right, when we come back,
And I just want to say Ralph.
we're going to come back and we're going to look at the scorecard, the keys to victory. We're going to come back and play the lightning round. We're going to talk about Alabama. We got more NCAA talk. A lot of stuff still to come on the Enrichment Sports Source. Come on back.
Miss an episode of the Enrichment Sports Source? Catch up online at sportsource.tv.